Okay guys, here's our 3D renderings of the projects that you guys are looking at. Starting off first is the mudroom. 3D mode here, obviously our garage doors over here. And this is just going off of some of the pictures that Aaron had texted to me. This is our layout. This is all to scale. Our wall socket that you guys had is right about here. This cabinet is 15 inches wide because that socket is about 16 inches off the wall, and 120 foot plate line, 120 inch plate line here. So this cabinet is about 8 feet high, which is pretty tall up here. So this is quoted with the barnwood or snow fencing, and this would be quoted with you guys supplying that material. All I would need is the material resawn down to 3/4 of an inch thick, and then from there I would take it and straight line it, make it all straight and true. So obviously pretty straightforward layout here. Our cubby, 18 inches off the ground, a comfortable seating height with it's open underneath. This is all lined with snow fencing inside here, and these would actually be partitions. It just wouldn't be the space frame here. This is a new version of this cabinet program that I'm still making some changes to. The top of this would be a finished smooth piece of lacquered material. We wouldn't want that for snow fencing to sit on. Something that would complement all the snow fencing well. This is the Euro style, so it's scribed to the wall. This is, I think this little space here is, this wall is only 20 1/4 deep. So this base cabinet here only comes out 18. Same thing over here, which is plenty of depth to still sit on comfortably. These are 54 inches off the ground, so there's plenty of room to sit down. You're not going to hit your head on that. These are 12 inches deep. These are two cabinets here. These are bifold doors. We open up these. Adjustable shelving throughout here. Relatively straightforward. Moving along, the first idea of the, and it's Christy. I think it's John's wife. That's Christine. Forgive me if I got that wrong. So looking at our closet here, this is in 3D mode, again, all to scale. This opening is 61.5, and to the left we have about 15, to the right is 12. So this is off the sketch that Aaron gave me. File drawers, floor to ceiling. This does not go up all the way. I think Aaron was talking about wanting it to go all the way, but the issue is, I mean, it's doable, but whether you guys want to do it or not, these cabinets are 12 inches deep. We only have 27.5 here, which leaves about 17 inches in between here, which is getting pretty tight to get in there comfortably and still use this space, especially up this high. I mean, you'd have to get a ladder to get up in there. So if you guys like, we can continue this all the way up. I don't have to figure out how to get cabinets up there, but I wouldn't do doors on those. They wouldn't hit, but they're going to get close when you open those up. Maybe adjustable shelving. Anyway, I'm rabbit trailing on something that's not even there. So we have a closet rod here with long hanging storage, 50, if you can see the dimension there, 51, almost 52 inches. So you can get away with winter coats, peak coats hanging there. Some shorter storage here. It was sketched with the shorter closet rod being down lower, but I brought it up a little bit more comfortable height. This is all adjustable shelving. And again, this is off of that sketch. I've got another rendition to show you. And then all of this would be distressed, an antique white. In the quote, I mentioned a Ridgeland door style. Let me show you. I quoted the door style like this here. This looks good, beat up. This would be a paint grade hard rock maple frame with the inset MDF panel. Antique white, beat it up, distress it, glaze it to highlight some of those dents and dings in it. So that's what it's quoted with this door style. Back to the program here. So this is all exposed interiors. So these have backs and sides that are all finished with the conversion varnish, the solid color material that I used to finish. Nova ply interiors. I don't know what your cabinet, the manufacturer called, but looking at that material, that's what I would call Nova ply. It's a maple plywood that's pre-finished. It's nice stuff. So that's quoted with these cabinets with the doors on them is Nova ply. These do not have doors. Those are exposed interiors and finished. So these are white. The fronts of this is white, white down here. And the insides is Nova ply. So with this only being 12 inches deep, we are a bit limited. We would need to do we can't do a lateral file, meaning the files run from front to back. There's just not enough space. The hanging file folders are 13 inches wide, and this cabinet's only 12. So my idea around that is to modify this, make this cabinet larger, shorten this up. So these drawers, or these cabinets, are 12 inches deep. This drawer, the full extension drawer boxes that I'm assuming you guys want, since that's throughout the rest of the house, those full extension guides are only 9 inches deep. So this drawer is 9 inches deep, so this would not be lateral. The hanging file folders would be from left to right, not front to back. But we have 4 banks here. We are from the floor, so the top of this is about 54 inches, which is still doable to open that up and see down in there easily. So those are a couple ideas with this. This program's not showing the finished backs, but it is. So that's the that office space for Christy there. And then the last item is the bookcase. What we have here. I'm going to hide this wall so we can see it. Okay. So in the quote, there's 2 options. One is using solid walnut and one using plywood. So in option 1, which is of course the more expensive option, I am thinking of going something like this. This is a project I did a couple years ago. This is solid walnut that is, these pictures keep rotating through, so I'm going to have to keep jumping around. It's ground down and wire wheeled to give it this heavy distressed look like this, and then of course the insides are all smooth. So you guys are quoted with, this is almost 2-inch thick. You guys would be about 1.25 inches. The 2-inch thick is just a massive, massive amount of material. For this project here, we were in walnut about $2,000. And you guys have a much bigger space, so just trying to think somewhat economically here. But as you can see, this is the same idea that I'm thinking for the first option. Call that option A, with distressing that. So we can see there's a fair amount. I mean, from this point here, it's almost ground back, 1.5 inches. There's quite a bit of variance in there. And for the drawers, for these drawers here across the front, to do something like this, there's a desk I did a while ago, just carrying that grain pattern all the way through, just a slab front like this. This is walnut, black walnut with 3 coats of lacquer sealed on it. So I have no idea if you guys like this or hate it. If you hate it, I'm not offended. If you love it, fantastic. But this is idea number 1. You were looking for a lot of highs and lows, depths, negative space, quite a bit of bookshelf here. These are all 12 inches deep, standard bookshelf depth. This is 18 deep, little sitting area for the girls. 12-inch deep cabinet here. And obviously this is about 6 feet tall. These are about 62, sitting on a toe kick. Plywood back. For both options, it's plywood backs, and if we do option B, it would be plywood for the case, and then a face frame on the front that could be distressed and beat up, but I can't grind into it as heavily as that wall unit I just showed you. It's a bit cheaper, but I don't know if this is sticker shock or where you guys are thinking with this. A lot of work. A lot of expensive material if we do walnut. There are some other materials that we can do, maybe alder, that's less, but we'd have to stain it. It's still going to be cheaper, but and I'm thinking for this space up here, the bottom of this is 54 inches off the ground, that the girls could stand on this to get up there. I did not pay any attention to those explosion-proof lights that you have coming out of here. We would probably have to maybe move a couple of those, which I'm assuming is not a big deal. But the lights, the recessed lights that you have in the block wall, one of them is here and the other is over here, which could be brought through to shine into these spaces, or we could just use that electrical lead and bring them through into the toe kick and mount those underneath here. Maybe put 3 of them spaced equally across here. And this would just be natural walnut finished with lacquer. And the tops of this, we wouldn't need a countertop or a wood top or anything if we do the solid material. It would look good as is because it's solid material. You don't have to cover up any plywood edge like this here. If we do the plywood, I would put a wood top on it to cover that up. Some ideas, if we're thinking that all the girls might be sitting there reading at once, we could do like a drop-down ironing board type idea with a wood plank that hinged down that was mounted to this wall here. Or even put something like this over here on this wall. And this space here, if we zoom in on that, is there's a little pop out in this wall that comes out. So I would, we could just end it short on the wall. It's about a foot away from this wall here, or just put a little a shelf in there or something. But next time we're at the house, you'll have to pay attention to that and see this little pop out here. So anyway, that's where we're at with these ideas. If you have changes, ideas, please let me know. I'm not offended. This is for you guys. It's got to be perfect, and I want you guys to fall in love with it. Let me know what you think. Thank you.